Welcome back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. Well, it's been a few days here now with no Edmonton Oilers hockey, but they do get back into action tomorrow night, Hockey Night in Canada, 8 p.m. against the Colorado Avalanche. And the Avalanche should be quite the challenge for this team that's been up and down all over the place, giving up leads. I just hope with a couple extra days of practice here that we're going to see a team that's going to come back much more focused, much more ready to hang on to a lead, to close out a hockey game. We know this team just really has a struggle at the start of each and every season, especially the last few, and it's time for that pattern to change, for this team to get back on the right direction here. We know November is going to be a very difficult month for this team travel-wise. They got to get it on the right track here. Otherwise, they're going to dig a very big hole for themselves that they don't want to have to crawl out of. I think this team is extremely deep, extremely talented, and they will find their way to the Stanley Cup playoffs in a decent position. But nevertheless, they do not need to make it harder on themselves than it already is. So hopefully, like I said, this practice time will give them some time to get everything going the way it needs to be going, and we're going to see a much better effort against the Colorado Avalanche tomorrow night. I'll have more on the lineup in just a moment. Eric Friesen of Heavy Hockey reporting Oilers prospect Samuel Jansen, drafted 158th overall in 2022, recorded his third consecutive shutout and a 5-0 win for the Fort Wayne Comets. Jansen now has a 4-0 record with a 1.25 goals against average and a .945 save percentage, including 3 shutouts in 4 ECHL games as a rookie this season. Obviously, an incredible start there for Jansen. It's got everybody in oil country talking. Call this guy up. Let's get him in the show. Well, obviously, that's a bit of an exaggeration. You got to give a goaltender like this time to develop, but it's a fantastic thing to see for this team's future. We know goaltending is a constant question here in oil country, and to have a prospect like this developing like that, granted, it's only in the ECHL, so you can't get too excited yet, but you want to see success there, success in the AHL, and then obviously for him to make the big jump to the National Hockey League. But a fantastic start there for Samuel Jansen, so really exciting to see, and hopefully he can be a goalie of the future here for the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers TV reporter Tony Brower had the latest for us here. Mattias Janmark was back on the ice Friday morning for the Oilers for his first full team skate of the season. Head coach Chris Knobloch provided these updates later in the day. Mattias Janmark is reportedly very close, and he could play tomorrow against the Colorado Avalanche or Monday against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Zach Hyman is expected to return within 1 week. He could be a possibility for Monday's game against Columbus, but he will likely return later in the week. And head coach Chris Knobloch also confirming that Stuart Skinner will get the start tomorrow against the Avalanche. Tony and Sports 1440's Jason Greger had 2 different looks for us at today's morning skate lineup, so I'm guessing the Oilers went through both and they just posted different looks here. The top 6 are the same in both: Nuge, McDavid, Mangiapane, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, Roslovic, but the bottom 6 is where things are different. Jason had Frederic, Henrique, and Philp together as the third line, Howard, Tomashik, and Savoy on the fourth line, and Tony had Howard, Tomashik, and Savoy together on the third line, and Henrique, Philp, and Frederic together on the fourth line. And we know from the report there from Tony that Mattias Janmark is a possibility for tomorrow as well. So we'll probably get something more finalized tomorrow, but a look at a possible lineup for tomorrow against the Colorado Avalanche. And Jason also noticed that in the drills and line rushes, there had been more activation from the D-men, something that had been lacking through the first 15 games played. And speaking of things that had been lacking, Jason also reporting that Jake Wallman and Trent Frederic were yapping at each other after Trent Frederic tossed him down. Jason noting that it was a spirited battle that we haven't seen in a practice for a long time. Much needed, a bit of animosity can be good. So obviously we don't want to see infighting, but this team needs something to get them going. I can see where Jason is coming from there. It's been pretty emotionless for this team. They don't even seem to look that happy when they're scoring goals. So whether it's this or something a bit more positive, obviously would be preferable for this team. But whatever can get this team going, let's see it. If it's got to be a little bit of a tussle in practice, so be it, but let's get some emotion back into this team. And of course, with the potential return of Mattias Janmark and Zach Hyman right behind him, the trade rumors have been swirling. There's been talk about Ty Emberson, talk about Troy Stetcher. According to insider David Pagnotta, Mattias Janmark's name is out there as well. David Tomashik's name has also come up, so there's a few different moves we could see here. I'd be pretty surprised if the Edmonton Oilers moved on from David Tomashik, obviously just bringing him in. Tomashik and Ike Howard can both be sent to Bakersfield without waivers, so that is a possibility there to free up some cap space. I think Troy Stetcher is more than likely on his way out the door. Possibly Ty Emberson as well, but again, the Oilers just signed Emberson to an extension this past summer, so we'll see what happens here, guys, but there will be some changes for the Edmonton Oilers. We know that much for sure before the return of Mattias Janmark and Zach Hyman. So that's all the latest I have for now, guys. Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.